Today I'd like to talk about an exciting book. It's called The Daily Stoic, and it has such wonderful ideas that I want to share with you, and especially the ones that I took away from it. So some key fundamentals or some key principles that I took away after reading this amazing book. The first one is that it's very important to distinguish between what you're able to control and what is outside of your control. So some things that you can control, and Tony Robbins mentions it in his book as well, some things that can shape your destiny, for example, and some things that are in your control are your thoughts and your behaviors. So you can choose what you want to think about, and you can choose how you want to act. The highest good is to live a virtuous life with eudaimonia and arete. So you can choose and become a virtuous person by shaping your thoughts and actions and your behaviors, right? The second thing I took away from this book is the concept of euthymia, which is tranquility, living with clarity, knowing exactly what's important to you, knowing what's not important, and doing what's important. And you want to not engage in social comparisons. So just because somebody else has a different path than you, it doesn't matter. You have to know what's important for you, and you have to live a virtuous life with purpose and with meaning. The third thing is that it's good to say sometimes, I don't know and I don't care. You don't have to know everything that's happening around the world, and you don't have to follow your consciousness everywhere about everything. And rather, you have to focus on what's important for you, right? What are you here to do? So it's okay to say, I don't want to know and I don't care about this particular news or what your co-worker texted you on Twitter. I don't know. You have to know what's important for you and live by it. The fourth thing is life boxing. And this means that challenges will come your way, but the obstacles are the way. They make you grow stronger. They're the whole point. So don't give up. Impedance to action actually leads to action to get better. Obstacles actually help you live your ideals by making you take the right action and changing your virtues accordingly. So if a boxer punches you in your face, you need to get up and keep going rather than being in a fearful state. There's nothing to fear than the fear itself. So you have to actually remain in the ring, and that's going to make you become even stronger and bigger than what you were before. And that's similar to a different concept that just came to mind of hormesis, right? You take a cold shower, it's uncomfortable, but that makes you stronger. Same thing here. If you have an obstacle, the obstacle will pave the way for you to take the right action to live your ideals, to become the best version of yourself. The next concept is amor fati, and this means to love your fate and lower your expectations. So you're not in control of the outcome, and so a storm can occur when you're overseas, or something else can happen that you don't really want to happen, but you're not in control with it. So you want to actually roll with reality rather than getting frustrated and blaming other people and becoming a victim or complaining about it. So by seeing things as not perfect, and actually that's more realistic because anything can happen, and thinking in advance about how things may go wrong potentially, you don't feel as bad when things actually don't happen the way you don't want them to. So lowering your expectations and being more flexible is very helpful. So you need to be able to adapt. The next principle is that ego is your enemy. Ego is never a good thing, and really people who think they know everything are not gonna learn because they already know it, right? So that prevents you from having that growth mindset and learning more, right? So being egoistic and arrogant is definitely not a good idea. So instead of focusing too much about yourself, right? Because really the world doesn't revolve around you. And so instead of being selfish, you want to be selfless and serve other people, serving something that's bigger than yourself, serving the common good. In fact, that part is part of euthymia, knowing what's important to you. And I think selfless serving should be an aspect of everybody, right? This should be a part of what's important for you, right? So you should do what you're passionate about, and a part of it should be helping something bigger, because the world is interconnected. We are part of a bigger whole, and so we want to help other people. We want to do something for the common good, and so we want to live a virtuous life, as I already mentioned, right? So doing what we are in control, changing our thoughts and behaviors to live a virtuous life. And in that, we should be able to serve other people, serve something bigger than ourselves, and not living in an egoistic fashion, in a selfish way. The opposite. We want to selflessly. And Robin Sharma talked about it in his fable, right? The monk who saw this Ferrari with the rose principle. You want to selflessly serve other people. That's very important. And then the last principle is meditation on mortality. So when we contemplate death, that makes us live each day as a gift and actually making it count. So meditation on your mortality is the last principle that I learned about this book, and that can also be helpful to consider.